Hello, everyone. This is Matt Shaftel with Shaftel Law. Today's video is going to go over the new N400 naturalization test that was released today by the Trump administration and goes into effect on October 20th, 2025. Now, just as way of review and what this is going to cover, naturalization is the process of applying for U.S. citizenship when you're a lawful permanent resident. Anybody who applies for naturalization on the N400 form has to finish with a civics test with an immigration officer. Under the current test, you have to get 6 out of 10 questions right. And out of 100 questions, they share the questions and answers with you ahead of time. The new test is going to be a bit harder, and I'm going to go over that and where you can find the material. So let me share my screen with you real quickly here. As a starting point, to find the material, the study for the N400 test, what I recommend is you type in N400 study for the test, and it'll quickly pop up these two uscis.gov websites. Let me pull up the first one. Now, again, as a general reminder, make sure it's always at uscis.gov. This is where you go for N400 study material, and really for any immigration benefit. This is the actual USCIS website, the agency that handles all these applications. If it's a .com or some type of variation of this, it could be a third-party website. You really want to go to the direct government source for this information, not a third-party company. Okay, now you can see the new alert for this new executive order by Trump. The new test goes into effect for all N400 applications filed on October 20th or later. So it goes into effect in about a month. If you've already filed for naturalization, you take the older 2008 version of the test, which is 100 questions, 6 out of 10 right to pass. The new one is not that much harder, but let me go over what it requires. Instead of 100 questions, there's 128. And instead of 6 out of 10 right, you have to get 12 out of 20 right. Now that percentage, that passing percentage or grade is the same. 60% on the current test, 60% on the new test. 6 out of 10 or 12 out of 20, which is effectively a D, 60% passing. So you will be on the hot seat for much longer because you have to answer 6 more questions. But keep this in mind, you only have to memorize 28 additional questions rather than 100. Now you have to memorize 128. Now, to find the material, once you get to this page, they list most of the study material right afterwards. You can also search for it, but I suggest just scrolling down. Now, if you are going to have to take the new test because you're filing in a month or later, October 20th or later, there's 2 key pieces here. Now, this first piece I want to show everybody so people do not get confused. If you click on this piece, this is the lengthy booklet that reads like a history book that goes over all kind of the different areas they're going to test on. And it really reads like a history kind of textbook. Okay, it might be interesting reading. I haven't read the whole thing yet. But if you scroll to the bottom, you will find the 128 questions at the end of this. Just like before, they give you the answers to the questions. So you have to memorize 128 questions and get, again, 12 out of 20 correct. If you just want the questions, which is really what you need to memorize, you can just click on the 128 civics questions and answers and just memorize all of the questions and answers here. Though I do recommend people read the lengthy book. It might be interesting, though not required. You just have to get these questions memorized so you can make or get a score of 12 out of 20 correct. Now, if you've already filed and or anticipate filing before October 20th, this is the old test. Questions and answers, the 100 civics test, and it confuses people because it's called the 2008 version, but that's because it's been in effect for that long. Okay. Lastly, the first time Trump tried to change the naturalization test, it was stopped by litigation in his first term. That could happen again, but for now, for anybody filing after October 20th, be ready for that new test. Stay tuned. Look at the uscis.gov site. Watch local media in case this new test is halted. But for now, and I anticipate it probably staying in place this time, but who knows? If you want to file your naturalization application quickly, you need to do that before October 20th if you want to have the easier test. Please feel free, as always, to contact us if you have questions about this process. Thank you.